What's up, guys? Welcome to the Warriors Report. Now let's talk about what has happened to the Toronto Raptors. Well, Tampa Raptors, but they're still Toronto. What has happened to the Raptors? Now, everyone was panicking after the first game, the second game, the third game. I still said to a lot of people, guys, it's okay. It's early in the season, and it still is. We're 1-5. I mean, you look at the box scores for some of those games. Besides yesterday, most of those games were 5-10 points, and we lost in the last minute or so. So we could have easily won those games, and our record would have looked much more different. But I mean, how do we drop from second in the East last season to second last in the Eastern Conference this season? The only team below us are the Pistons. I mean, funny because Dwayne Casey's coaching them, but it's not I know what's not funny is the Raptors' record. I mean, 1-5 is not acceptable by any means, and something needs to change. And let's start off with the starting center, Aaron Baines, missing 4 shots at the rim yesterday versus the Celtics game. That was horrible. That was just downright horrible. That's easy, 8 points right there. And these kind of plays can swing momentums. Your team's right back in the game if he makes those shots. And, I think we need to start Alex Len. I was listening to Coach Nurse's interview after yesterday's game. He talked about how Alex played with a little bit more energy. He even said Alex Len played better defensively, which is kind of an insult to Aaron Baines because Aaron Baines is known as a defensive player and Alex Len not so much. And he talked about how just having Alex there as a bigger body, they weren't really driving and getting easy buckets to the basket. And that was true. I mean, Alex Len isn't the greatest defender, but he still defends. I'm just not seeing any effort. And what was worse yesterday about Aaron Baines, I think it was the third or fourth quarter, they showed a picture of him talking to Matt Thomas on the bench, and he's laughing. I mean, you're losing by that much. You played like crap. Let's not kid ourselves. And you're laughing there. Something needs to change. I think he needs to get a wake-up call, and Alex Len's got to start tomorrow against the Suns. So, but I know a lot of Raptor fans are upset, including myself. I'm not happy about how they've played. 1-5 is not acceptable. We're way more talented. I mean, heck, the Knicks are what, top 5, top 6 in the East right now? So, I mean, that shows you all it is. They're definitely better guys, but have some patience. Have some patience. It's not over till it's over. Until we're done the 72 games, it's not over. I still say give it another 5-7 games, and then you'll see. And then we can talk about trading players. I mean, everyone keeps talking about trade this guy, trade that guy, but just 2 games ago, everyone was saying Fred VanVleet's overpaid. He's not doing so well. And now look at everyone. Fred VanVleet apparently is the best Raptor this season. So, guys, let's stop jumping to conclusions after every game. Trade this guy, trade that guy. At least there are some positives. I know as bad as we were yesterday, at least Pascal Siakam, someone looked like himself yesterday, which is always a plus sign considering he struggled since the bubble. So I think guys just really need to step it up. And, I mean, heck, people were even questioning Nick Nurse. And everyone was on his case about not playing Malachi Flynn. And he played Malachi Flynn yesterday. And what happened? I mean, everyone's like, well, Malachi's going to do this, Malachi's going to do that. Don't get me wrong, guys. I love Malachi. He's a great player. He's a rookie, though. I mean, obviously, we need something to change and gotta give props to Nurse because he tried yesterday. He was trying a lot of different lineups, but I don't know. As for me personally, I think he should limit the amount of players that he plays, but also he's going to use Matt Thomas more. I mean, Matt Thomas sucks, but you can't just have someone who shoots threes like that sitting on the bench. If you're gonna do that, I mean, might as well trade him, So you're wasting Matt Thomas on the bench. You need to give him some minutes. You need to run some plays for him. Let him get those 3-point shots, and it opens up the space for guys like Fred VanVleet when they want to drive. Pascal Siakam definitely so, and we need to play guys like that more. And also, I think limit some guys. We can't just be playing all sorts of players all over the place. Give Chris Boucher a lot more minutes. Reduce Aaron Baines' minutes. He's been playing like crap for the last couple games, just doing nothing. He's invisible out there. So we got to reduce his minutes. And call me crazy, I know we've only seen Utah slightly in maybe 5-7 minutes a game the last 2 or 3 games, but I like the energy he brings. Give him more minutes. He can shoot the 3. He can defend. He's a big body. He's 6'9". He can play power forward. He can play he can play small forward. Give him some minutes. He's hustling out there. He's rebounding. He's shooting threes. His shot looks nice. It's very smooth. Give him some minutes and tighten the rotation. I think that's what's kind of it's hard enough for a Raptors team that didn't really have a training camp, but we only had, 3 preseason games. So that's not enough time for the new guys to gel. But, I mean, for the guys who are playing hard, give them more minutes. And for the guys like Aaron Baines, cut his minutes. I mean, that's not acceptable. His performance yesterday, I can't even remember. He was invisible out there. I can't even remember if he scored a basket or not. That's how bad he was. And guys, as a Raptors fan, believe me when I say this, have some patience. Everyone's questioning Masia Ujiri. Everyone's saying, "Oh, look, he should have re-signed Ibaka." But I agree, we should have. But don't question Masia Ujiri. All it takes is one move, and you're gonna be on the bandwagon. Believe in Masai. Believe in Masai. He's been amazing, and you can't trade away players like it's NBA 2K. Even Fred VanVleet said in this post game, he said you can't just start trading players right and left, and you have who you have, and you got to work with it. So I think we have too many players that need minutes. First things first, reduce the minutes of players that aren't playing well, and that's Aaron Baines. OG's been playing horrible the last couple games, but we can't reduce his minutes. He's 3-and-D guy, but he needs to shoot better. Obviously, Pascal's had his struggles, but he looked good last game. Especially in the third and fourth quarter, he showed signs of his old self, which was nice. He obviously could have played a bit better, but if he keeps improving, that's what we need from Pascal, right? So it's been a hell of a disappointing season. Let's not sugarcoat anything. It's been horrible, and obviously some things need to change, but we literally can't make trades. Our big men aren't that great, but we think about this for a second. Alex Len, we signed in the offseason. Aaron Baines, we signed in the offseason. Chris Boucher, we re-signed in the offseason. You literally can't trade those 3 big men until after that deadline passes where you sign players and you can start trading them. So we're literally stuck with them right now. So we can't make any moves unless we're trading Norman, who's also been horrible. And he was called out by Coach Nurse, too, yesterday. He played downright horrible. I mean, he had that one good game as a starter, and then next game he scored 12 points, and then I saw a clip of Norman just chucking a bottle or a cup of water or something pissed off on the bench, but that's not acceptable. He's going to play better. He plays better as a starter, but who are you going to take? I mean, who are you going to put to the bench? And I keep hearing people saying Pascal Siakam, but that's not it, guys. What kind of message do you think that sends out to other players that we're going to potentially sign in free agency? When a player's struggling, you just bench him? Hell no, he's our main guy. You're going to go through your struggles. You got to go through your ups and downs. And yeah, he's struggling like crazy, but you got to keep him, man. You got to keep him in the starting lineup. Let him work through it. Let him grow through it. He's still a fairly young player. He's 26, 27 years old. When you look back at Kyle Lowry and DeMar DeRozan, those days, they were struggling a lot too in the playoffs. Not the regular season, obviously, but they had their struggles. They grew through it. And now look at Kyle Lowry. Even look at DeMar DeRozan. He's doing so well with the Spurs. So the solution isn't just to trade your players away. Everyone was saying, oh, let's trade Gasol. He's horrible. He's horrible. And now all of a sudden everyone misses Gasol because of his defense. That's why we can't just trade away players and then you're going to compare him to, oh, I wish we still had that player. Wish we still had this player. You can't. It's not NBA 2K, guys. Let's be a little realistic. And other GMs aren't smart. You can't just trade Norman Powell's first-round pick for Zach LaVine or some silly things I've been seeing online. So something definitely needs to change. I think you need to tighten the rotation because the bench players, there's a bunch of like 7 guys, 8 guys off the bench. We don't know who's playing consistently. They need to know their minutes. Let's tighten the rotation a bit. I'm saying this, and I'm big on Utah. Give him Utah Watanabe. Give him some damn minutes. He hustles out there. He shows a lot more energy than some other guys have been showing. Cut Norman Powell's minutes. He's been horrible. Sit him 1 or 2 games if you need to send a message. He's been inconsistent forever, it seems like. Except for last season where he was really consistent. And something needs to change. I mean, it's frustrating being a fan right now, but have patience. Have patience. And this kind of reminds me of that season where we started off horrible with Rudy Gay, DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Lowry. I think Andrea Bargnani. No, we had traded Andrea Bargnani that season, but that was the first season I think Masai took over where Rudy Gay was still there. Because the previous season, Colangelo had made a trade for Rudy Gay, and then I think it was 17 or 20 games into the season, and Masai decided enough is enough, and then he traded Rudy Gay, and then we went on that crazy run and ended up making the playoffs. That's the first time making the playoffs in forever. So we have to find the X factor, but we also have to work through what we have. So give it a larger size sample. If after 10, 15 games we're still struggling, then yeah, trade definitely needs to happen. I think it'll happen, but for now we are stuck with who we have. We can't start trading players left and right unless we get a good offer. But it's been a horrible start to the season. Let's not kid ourselves. It's been horrible. 1-5 is not acceptable. We've been what, top 4, top 3 last 6, 7 years in this regular season. The last time we missed the playoffs were 2012-13, I think. So we're not gonna miss the playoffs. I mean, come on, guys. It's been a weird season. Literally, look at the Knicks. They're top 5, top 6. You think that's gonna last throughout the season? Hell no. I mean, Tom Thibodeau is a great coach, and RJ Barrett and Julius Randle are killing it, but I don't see the Knicks that high, and I definitely don't see the Raptors that low. So have a little bit of patience. And I've preached this in my last video too about getting PJ Tucker to the Raptors. We need veteran presence. He's one of those guys that brings grit. I don't think he's that hard to trade from Rockets. If we are going to make a trade one of our guards and he can play small forward or something. He brings leadership. You need those older guys. When you look back at that Rudy Gay trade, we didn't really get a significant piece back, but we did get some leadership. And heck, I know John Solomon's we're gonna laugh at that, but him and Chuck Hayes brought some leadership and veteran presence in the locker room, and I think that's what we need right now. We need someone to kind of just get on our asses besides Kyle Lowry. And PJ Tucker, even Kyle Lowry and Coach Casey back after he left, he was only with us for half a season, but they've said he brings a lot of grit and toughness, and that stayed with us. So we need someone like that. We need, if we're going to trade, we can't just acquire Zach LaVine or Oladipo or Miles Turner for Norman Powell in first round. Other GMs aren't dumb, guys. Come on. This isn't NBA 2K where just every trade gets accepted because salaries match. That's not how the league works. You got to get something to get something. So, again, I still say give them more time. It sucks that they've lost, but let's look at the road trip ahead. They have a West Coast road trip coming up. I think they're playing the Suns, Kings, Warriors, and Portland. So, I mean, I can guarantee, as well as the Suns have been playing, I'm guaranteeing right now the Raptors are going to win the next game against the Suns. I'm guaranteeing it. They can definitely win this too, and they can pull through. They're going through some shit right now, but I definitely believe they can do it. I mean, the Suns are good, but who's going to guard Fred VanVleet? Chris Paul's a good defender, but Kyle Lowry and Fred VanVleet better go off next game. Pascal Siakam, as horrible as he has been, there's not really a player that can guard Pascal on that team. Jay Crowder's a power forward, but he's only going to do so much. I mean, who else are they going to put? They don't have a player that can guard Pascal lengthwise and everything. I hope he goes off because we really need him to. So everyone needs to step it up next game. I'm guaranteeing it right now. I think the Raptors win that game even though the Suns are playing really well this year. And then you look at the next few games, the Kings, Warriors, Portland. I think we go on a four-game winning streak. I'm calling it right now. As well as the Warriors have been playing, you can't tell me we can't shut down Kelly Oubre and Andrew Wiggins. I mean, come on. They've been playing like crap this season. Curry's been going off last couple games, but Fred VanVleet, remember what he did to him in the finals. And I'm not saying he's going to do the same thing, but at least we have someone that can guard Curry. It's not, I mean, it's hard. He's a good player. Don't get me wrong. I'm not saying Curry won't go off on us. He probably will. I mean, he's been playing a lot better with Draymond back, but when you look at their offensive power, it's not really great outside of Curry. So I think we can win that one. Kings are the Kings. I mean, I don't see why we don't win that one. That one should be an easy win. And then Portland, obviously, they got CJ, they got Dame, they got Melo off the bench, but I think we take that game too. I mean, literally all it takes is a 3-4 game winning streak and we're back in it. Stop jumping off the bandwagon. Stop jumping back and forth about fire this, fire this. I've lost faith in you, Masia Ujiri. We can't just start trading players right and left. Our whole plan this season was we weren't going to be realistic, guys. We weren't going to win a championship, as much as it sucks to say that, because we've been so competitive last 3-4 years, but especially after we won the championship. But I mean, it was supposed to be a developmental year and the draft is loaded. So have patience. We can't just throw away our plan. We didn't just lose Gasol and Ibaka because, we're going to fill out our cap space. It doesn't make sense trading Powell or someone like that to fill out, bring a salary back that's going to not allow us to sign free agents. And obviously I know Toronto's not the sexiest destination, but have patience. There's still some decent free agents out there that we could sign. You don't know. Masai isn't an idiot that Giannis was his only plan. I mean, obviously, we know he was the main guy, but I'm definitely sure they have a plan B and C. They didn't They didn't just do this hoping that Giannis would sign and they didn't have a backup plan. He's an executive for a reason. Have some patience, guys. Have some faith in the Raptors. It's been a really, really bad start. Let's not kid ourselves. And no one's happy that we're at the bottom of the standings. But have some faith in our team. Give it a good size sample before trying to trade everyone right and left and saying Fred VanVleet sucks and then he's the greatest. Oh, this guy sucks. And then, I mean, obviously there's certain players that have really, really struggled. I'm going to call them out. Norman Powell and Aaron Baines in particular. OG is a little disappointing, but OG is going to step it up. I know. But Powell and Baines have to step it up or get benched or reduce their minutes significantly and have other guys step up. So it's been a horrible start, but I have faith. Gotta have faith, guys. Come on. Have faith in your team. You got to go through your ups and downs. And it's been a shit year because it's been transitioning from Toronto to Tampa. Heck, we're getting booed by our own fans, which sucks. But, I mean, Tampa fans are such ungrateful jerks. They don't deserve us. And I'll be glad when we go back to Toronto. So, it is what it is, unfortunately. But have faith, guys. I'm calling it right now. We're going to win against the Suns next game. I think we could go on a 3-4 game winning streak and everything's going to be fine again. All of a sudden, everyone's going to be jumping and, we'll be fine. I know the Raptors aren't this bad and everyone said it. No one believes the Raptors are second last in the East. Have some faith in your team and have some patience. It's a long season. And as quoted by a former coach, Dwayne Casey, it's not a marathon. It's not a sprint. It's a marathon. So have patience, guys. It's a long season. All it takes is one winning streak and we're back in it. So and let's hope that we get some wins, though. All jokes aside. We seriously need to get some wins. We can't afford to lose anymore, though. But let's see what happens tomorrow against the Suns. So this is it for my video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. And I had to say this because I feel like just Raptors are just jumping all over the place. And it sucks, guys, how we've been playing. No one's saying we have been playing great, but have faith. That's it for this video, guys. Peace out.